everybody. This is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for our devotional. Today we're in Acts chapter 16. I'm going to be reading verses 19 through 24. Picking up where we were yesterday, Paul and Silas have just healed a slave girl. Here's how it reads. But when her owners saw that their hope of gain was gone, they seized Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace before the rulers. And when they had brought them to the magistrates, they said, "These men are Jews. They are disturbing our city. They advocate customs that are not lawful for us as Romans to accept or practice." So the crowd joined in attacking them, and the magistrates tore the garments off them, gave orders to beat them with rods, and when they had inflicted many blows upon them, they threw them into the prison, ordering the jailer to keep them safely. Having received this order, he put them in the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. So this is a thought-provoking text today, so stay with me for a second. If you remember yesterday's Devo, and you can go back and listen to that one, Paul healed a slave girl who was possessed by a demonic spirit. But the issue with this was that her exorcism now absolved her owners of the income that came from this girl's fortune-telling ability. We discover that this was their only concern because they're not really celebrating this girl's spiritual freedom, but only the loss of income. And they're pretty hacked off, by the way, so much so they launch a counterattack against Paul and Silas for healing her. They seize Paul and Silas, drag them off to the civil authorities, and present a false witness stirred by all this prejudice. Now, the result is that Paul and Silas are publicly ridiculed, sentenced, stripped, beaten, and sent to prison. And in a couple of days, when we get further down into the chapter, these owners and officials are going to be embarrassed for sentencing them. And you're going to have to wait to learn why, unless, of course, you read ahead. But there are three consequences of this moment that are great reminders to us all. The first consequence is that salvation is both liberating and costly. In fact, in this case, it liberated a girl of a demonic spirit, and it cost her the source of her livelihood. And this is true for some people. Some people get saved and have to make radical adjustments to how they live and how they make a living, mainly because the lifestyle and career enable corrupt behavior. The second consequence is that sometimes a person's salvation may impact someone else too. And as we see here, her deliverance had an impact on her owners, who actually could care less about her or her healing, but only the income potential she had. Now, the third consequence we see is an active preference for sin. Based on these owners' hateful response to Paul and Silas, we can deduce that they would have preferred living with a demonic girl because of the income that she brought. And when you think about it, this sounds kind of twisted. But many live and work in corrupt work environments because of the rewards of a lifestyle or an income. The rewards provide security that maybe they haven't found spiritually. Therefore, they are willing to abandon needed changes to their beliefs or character and behavior because of rewards. And as we see that sometimes people will even go to great lengths to defend their position and protect their money over the blessing of spiritual freedom. You know, I think this short story clarifies for us all the cost of following Christ. That following Christ has both intended and unintended consequences. Some will celebrate these consequences, and others will criticize them. But this is just a part of being a follower of Jesus. Fellas, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, share it with someone you know. I really appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.